Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Neal and welcome to Take 5. There's a topic that no one really talks about when discussing the Internet of Things, and that is how to get all of those devices, which may be on different networks, to connect to each other or to a PLC or a DCS. And how do you configure, diagnose, and maintain hundreds or thousands of devices? Well, the FDT Group, which is an international nonprofit organization, has been providing an open standard for the integration of networks and devices for over 20 years. It's called the Field Device Tool Technology, and it's used in process, hybrid, and discrete markets. It defines the data exchange interface between devices and each control system, as well as engineering or asset management tools. It supports more than 18 different networks, and as of last year, it is now fully Internet enabled. In the past, the technology standard has worked only on a Microsoft desktop, but in June of 2020, the group released FDT 3.0, a platform-independent version of the standard that includes the FDT IIoT server, which supports Apple, Linux, and Microsoft environments and allows users to interact with it through a standard web browser. In addition, the new version includes Developer's Toolkit that has a common IIoT-ready component. This means device developers don't need to spend time learning the nuances of the FDT standard to create the device type managers, or what they call DTMs, which are software components that work on the device-specific data functions and rules. Also important in FDT 3 is the built-in security using encrypted communications and certificates so that only authorized devices can talk to the server. In addition, a collaboration with the OPC Foundation has recently resulted in the FDT OPC UA companion spec, which enables uniform IT and OT data access to the enterprise through a new server-level universal device information model. So first, let's pick up where we left off, and that is the FDT OPC UA spec. These two groups have been collaborating since 2011 to present device and network-level data access in a uniform way for higher-level enterprise apps. But to meet the demands of cloud-based computing, the FDT 3 server is now natively integrated with an OPC UA server to mix and match any device with any information model from any vendor and on any network. The FDT server unifies all device information and pushes the data to the enterprise to any OPC UA client in real time. That means end users can get direct access to data without having to go through each network and data model, which removes the roadblocks of the past. Also, for end users, the group rolled out the FDT Hub Repository, which can be in the cloud or on-premise. It is where certified DTMs are stored and managed by giving the vendor community access to it. This solves a problem that users had in that they would have to visit multiple vendor websites to find the DTMs they needed. Now it's all in one spot, and the DTM can automatically be retrieved. As a single server environment, FDT3 can handle a plant and an entire enterprise, or it could scale down to a single skid. Glenn Schultz, FDT Group's managing director, gave me an example of an OEM delivering a bottling line to their end customer. They could put a small version of the server on a Linux application buried inside the bottling line and monitor the health of all the assets to make adjustments or develop KPIs or dashboards. And it all scales up to a cloud-based environment. That, of course, means this is a tool that could enable new as-a-service maintenance models for machine builders. Schultz said, too, that developers could set up an FDT as-a-service model where they pre-deploy multiple instances in the cloud on a hosted service for facilities with all of the devices and networks pre-populated. This way, the customers could access a complete turnkey system without having to touch any of the infrastructure themselves. Speaking of customers, I'm told there's one large customer putting FDT3 through its paces, and they should be going public with the results very soon. We'll keep you posted on that. Until then, you can find out more information on the FDT Group in the links below.